Hi everyone and welcome to Global Azure Norway. For any newcomers to the stream, my name is Oddbjørn Bakke and I am a part of the .NET user group in Norway who are organizing this event. And I will be your host for this session. If you have any questions during the talk, please use the chat to post them and I will include them after the talk. And here is our speakers for this session, Goran Vuksic and Kim Hedberg. So without further ado, the stream is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Norway. It's super exciting to be over here, right, Kim?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so shall we start?
Let's do.
What do we talk about?
Yeah, we're going to speak about AI, how to use AI to create smart sales. And this talk will be combining business and technology.
So we will torture them with business first, and
Yes.
then we show some code, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the plan.
So.
Awesome. Let's do it. So who we are?
Yeah, my name is Kim Hedberg, and I work as a manager for strategy and offerings at Stratiteq, an IT and business consultancy based in Malmö, Sweden.
And Goran Vuksic. I work as a technical manager for Stratiteq.
Yeah, I already said that. So you can skip to the next one.
So it's fine. Okay.
It's fine. Yeah. So let's start with the business part because that's basically what I'm here about. So you all know that data-driven is the new black, obviously. We've been through digital transformation for the last about 10 years, working with everything from digital marketing, digital business as such, e-commerce. We've spoken about omnichannel, big data, everything connected, shifting to the cloud. And now, obviously, our AI is coming into play as well. And all of this has given us tons of data. And of course, that also means that we are now able to go to the next step and be more data-driven. So this is basically what we're trying to help our customers do and become. So what are the drivers to become data-driven, except for the digital transformation, which is obviously creating the capabilities and the data at hand? We have everything is getting more and more connected. We have both 5G, but not the least, we have Industry 4.0, which is driving the connection within industry manufacturing specifically at large. We've also seen a lot of changing behaviors during the last years. It's been, starting with the consumers and customers changing and getting adapted to that, which we took with us to our professional lives. And we're starting to ask for the same type of services that we are expecting as consumers. But the whole society is also changing, and we're actually ready to do so. We're almost expecting things to be smarter and so on. So it's a natural behavior for us now. And then last but not least, we have the cloud democratization. So if we previously had to invest a lot of money to get computer power and have access to data and so on, obviously the cloud is now making it possible for more and more companies to use the benefits of the cloud in terms of the latest technology, AI, real-time data, and so on. So that's very much driving the shift towards being more data-driven as such. But still, we have 86% of B2B companies saying that they can do much more with the data they have. So what does it actually mean then to be data-driven? Take the next slide. So we speak about three different parts. We speak about decision intelligence, so being able to make smart decisions based on data and insights instead of gut feeling. We speak about data-driven competitive advantages, so actually leveraging the data and using it in a strategic manner. So either you could increase your revenues or you could increase your efficiency, for example. But then it's also about a way of being. It's about creating a data-driven culture. So it's very much about people and processes combined with technology, leadership, and culture as such. So it's shifting not only the technology and the way we do business, but also the way we work together and how we view our reality, so to say. But becoming data-driven is not just about technology or business. It's very much about all three perspectives. So we need to have the business part of it, obviously. We need to know that it brings value in different ways. We need the technology to be able to help us achieve it. So we need to have that modern platform architecture. But then we need to adapt processes and create that data-driven culture to be successful. So all three perspectives always have to be in play. So what would reasons be for a company to become data-driven? Well, we've talked about it earlier. So we want to be able to make the smarter decisions always. So those decisions could be made by us as persons, but it could also be done by machines. So machines could take the decisions for us, proposing what the next action is to take and so on. But we want to be able to make those smart decisions instead of using gut feelings. We also have the possibility to create new revenue streams. We have tons of physical products that are now being connected with sensors to be able to create smart products instead, where we can use the data and create services, which could then in turn create new revenue streams, where we have subscription-based business models, for example, where customers can buy services and so on as well. So it's really creating possibilities to get new revenue streams. We obviously want to bring all this data we have back to the customer as smartness. So be it new services, but also new products and new ways of working. So not just saving the data for yourself, but actually being able to share it with your customers. We want to predict instead of being surprised. I am sure that many companies, when COVID hit last year, had to make a lot of decisions where they actually weren't possible to predict what the outcome could be, because they've never been in that situation. But they also had to take decisions very quickly, and could then, I would say they would be surprised anyway, because obviously nobody expected a pandemic, so to say. But still, they might be more surprised, but could have seen things happening on the way. So being able to predict new customer behaviors and so on is something we want to do instead of being surprised. And then last but not least, we want to be able to capitalize on the digital investments we've already done. So basically, we have a lot of data. It's sitting in our books, but it's not really visible on our balance sheets, for example. So how do we actually capitalize on that and make it worthwhile and create business value for it? So how do we make our data work for us? So tonight we're talking about AI for sales. So let's deep dive into that part. So I just read this McKinsey report. It is from 2019, but I stumbled upon it last week. So a third of all the sales and sales operation tasks can actually be automated, but only 25% of businesses have started. So we could work with lead generation using chatbots, for example, to handle customers that get stuck in different funnels. We could work with churn prevention and identifying risk customers with machine learning, and then help marketing to activate really targeted actions. We can speed up the request for purchase process by being able to identify questions with natural language, for example, and then provide the answers automatically. We could optimize the customer journeys with RPAs, so being able to streamline the process from order to cash. Or we could also work with product activation, for example, activating licenses if you bought software by using bots. So there are several possibilities where we can use AI and machine learning actually to increase sales. So a couple of examples then. Data-driven sales forecast is something that our clients are looking for to a large degree. It's always sort of a fight between sales and operations. So sales are selling and operations need to produce whatever needs to be sold. And obviously operations don't want to have stuff on the stock, but actually produce the order as much as possible, while sales want to be sure that they can deliver in time and know that the customers can get what they want. So how do we optimize so that we actually have a data-driven sales forecast, and what business value can it drive? So we will have if we succeed in making the sales forecast better and more data-driven, we will have a cost optimization. So it will be more cost efficient for both operations and supply. We can have more of an operational excellence. So being able to plan smarter and have better forecasting and automation. The customer experience will improve because we will have with more accurate forecasting, we can also ensure faster deliveries and better service. And it also drives an organizational alignment between the different parts of the organization, where you have to work with common data definitions and share the responsibility for this between sales and operations. And not the least, you actually get reliability. So the forecast is based on facts and insights rather than guesses. And that creates trust in data. So when we work with this, if you take the next slide, Goran.
Sorry.
No problem. So this is just a visualization in Power BI in this case, where we've created a solution where we define the data sets, obviously, and here we are combining different data sources. So we're using historical purchasing data, but we're also using data from the CRM where we have different opportunities. So being able to predict future sales based on the opportunities together with historical purchasing data. And then we add external sources as well. So it could be trends, it could be reports about how much a certain industry is expected to deliver, or how many new types of products, new vehicles, or whatever it could be will come. So we can add several sources and thereby base a more accurate forecast based on those data. And then we use Azure AI and machine learning for prediction. And obviously, we also have to add the ability to actually be able to make small manual adjustments, because there will always be something that happens ad hoc, or deliveries that are not occurring, or something else that's happening on the way. So we need to have that possibility. And then we visualize this with Power BI. So making it easy for both operations and sales to see what is going on. So this is a very valuable feature for most companies, actually. Another area where we're looking at data-driven sales is actually to use the transactional data and machine learning to optimize sales. And this is very applicable, for example, for companies that might be B2B companies, mostly, I guess, that are doesn't have maybe an e-commerce solution, are not driving sales that way, but they can actually, by thinking more like an e-commerce company, they can use the same sort of data to predict what's the next best purchase, what should we recommend, how can we create smartness based on the order history of this specific customer in combination with the products we have available, and so on. So you can use the data you have, both transactional data, but also what you have sort of in stock and other types of data in terms of delivery time to the customer and so on, to create a smartness where you can help your salespeople then know who to call first, basically, where you would have a greater success rate in converting the customer to sales. So yeah, we can take the next one. So this would be a solution where we've taken data from, as I said, order history, stock availability, and actually delivery time as well, because in this case, it's a customer who is turning over their stock quite quickly because they're in a fast-moving consumer goods area. So we're using that data to create an algorithm, and then putting an algorithm on top of it to be able to create which customers should the salespeople speak to first. And then we use Dynamics 365 to show the results and guide the sales agents and Salesforce and key accounts on who they should address to get a more data-driven sales, so to say, to be more successful. And then we're getting into the last example, which then Goran will show you how it's done in a demo as well. Here we're looking at an AI-supported sales and customer service where we are using voice recognition. So this is the business value we can deliver here as well, is an increased customer satisfaction. So when we speak to the customer, we will be able to give them an offer with the right product, price, and the right delivery time. So that optimizes the sales opportunity for the customer and obviously for the company as well. It will increase sales efficiency and margins because we will also suggest the right price. So we can help the salespeople offer the best price where they have the highest likelihood of getting a conversion, but still keeping the biggest margin for the company. We get a reduced operational cost because we get a faster stock turnover, for example. And then we can get real live insights. So as we sell, the data is updated. So we always know what we are offering based on what's available in the stock, for example. we take the next slide. So the solution here is that we used voice technology, and then we are empowering the sales agents when they're speaking to over the phone with a customer. They get smart suggestions based on what they're speaking about. So we can custom tailor the suggestions based on the conversation, whether it's what product they are discussing, if it's price discounts, what we have available in the stock, and so on. So Goran will show you later on how the suggestions are changing based on the conversation. So I think that was all from the business part, which I've now tortured you with. And I will hand over to Goran to show you the good stuff then.
Yeah, but we had to say a bit about business because there's technology is technology without the business. We need to purpose to develop the apps and help out the clients achieve some things.
Yes.
Kim was a bit shy. I'll introduce myself on my slide to say a few words. And bit of background. Let's start when I was a kid. At some age, I think I was 5, 6, maybe, I wanted to be a pirate, and not a software pirate. I the ships and guns and eye patches and cannons and such stuff. And I was thinking why I don't live in that age of human history. And later on, probably inspired by Indiana Jones movies, I wanted to explore the jungles, and I was thinking, yeah, but like everything's explored, everything was on map. Why don't I live in that age of human history? And as I was growing up, but this was changing over time until I figured out that we actually we live all together in the most exciting age of human history because of technology and what is happening around us. And like, if you take a look, like open any tech news portal, and you see this company did that, this company that company did something else. And it's really amazing. I was always imagining like this smart robots being able to talk to some kind of robot and such. So I guess that's why my interest in AI. And somewhere on the way I got this Microsoft AI MVP title. I got some 15, 16 years of work experience in IT, worked on a lot of different technologies, programming languages, and such. And I like to attend different conferences, do workshops, and write blog posts. I'm tech enthusiast, and that's me. So let's start with our session from the bit tech point of view. And just to continue what Kim was saying, like, we talk about AI and smart sales. And you are maybe familiar with this guy, Michael. He was running one company that was called Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. They were selling paper. It was around, I think, 15 those sales persons over there. They were constantly on the phone, right, and trying to sell. And not all of them are the best salespersons, I would say. They will try to modernize their sales process somewhere on the way. They introduced web page, but it didn't really work well for them. So how, if you imagine such company, people are on phones, they're selling, they do have a website, they are doing this because they want to keep personal touch with their client, and their client wants to keep personal touch with them. They could order on the website, and they could chat with some chatbot, but not everybody likes to do that, right? There's still a lot of companies that are doing this phone call sales. So how could we empower them to actually perform their daily job better, to be able to make more sales, to know the customer better, to give them offers that they actually need, and such things. So yeah, that's our scenario that we will go through today. So when we talk like about how we develop projects and how we sell those projects to our customers, it works different in different companies, right? But this is one of the ways it could work. Like first, you could inspire them with technology. You can show them some new stuff, explain how it works. You could build proof of concepts for that. So something that is functional, works with few examples. Then some natural way of developing things would be building a pilot project, showcasing functionality, and in the end making this production full-blown solution for them. When you introduce some new features, not bug fixes, you will probably have to go through this process again, like especially if those features are a bit more complex, not just we are adding one button to open the new report or something, but you want to bring them this power of technology. Often people are not aware what technology is capable to do, and that's why we need to inspire them always and show them what's possible to do. And we would go through this project again, show through this process again, show them like what can be done, proof of concept, bring it all the way to the production. So for this, like when we talk about Azure and AI, we talk about Azure Cognitive Services, of course. And I find them super easy to build a proof of concepts with examples you have over there, like really great and simple examples that you can use actually to showcase your clients what technology can do nowadays, and then build on top of that into something more complex. So, as Microsoft says, Azure Cognitive Services, comprehensive family of AI services and cognitive APIs that help you build intelligent apps. So we have decision language, speak, and vision. Web search is currently being moved out of Azure Cognitive Services. It was part of it. With decision, yeah, make smarter decisions faster. Language, extract meaning from unstructured text. Speech, the speech to processing, you are able to integrate into your applications and services. And we have vision to identify and analyze content within images and videos. So we will focus today to speech to text. If you remember our example, we have those salespersons on the phone talking and selling. They are sitting in front of the screen. They are entering some order over there into their system and trying to figure out like what is meaningful. So speech service features that accurately converts spoken audio to text. So text that is spoken, audio that is spoken converts to text, works with more than 85 languages and variants. Demo we did this project. I will show you demo we prepared. It was done in Swedish, and yeah, as far as Kim can say, it worked pretty well, right, Kim?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm in Sweden only 2 years. My level of Swedish is not so great. I had problems ordering apples, but okay. So what also it allows you speech to text is to customize models, to make them be more accurate, and especially for this domain-specific terminology. So if you're introducing some terminology that is new, product names, something like that, you can do that, and you can get more value from spoken audio by enabling search or analytics on transcribed text or facilitating action, all in your performed programming languages. So yeah, features: high quality transcription, customizable models, flexible deployment, production ready. Great service. We'll start with a simple application, that is in React, and basically gives you ability to try out this service. Really super simple. What you need to do is go to this GitHub link, just clone it, and run npm install, and basically that's it. You get it installed on your computer. You will need to edit env file. So over there, you need to enter the speech key and the speech region. So in the Azure cloud, you need to go to your Azure cloud, use the speech service, and over there you should create it, and you get these values. You add this file and enter the values over here. When you make npm run devs, so you are running this React application, one browser window will pop up, and you will see the speech sample application that gives you two options. One is to convert speech to text from your microphone. The other one is to convert speech to text from audio file. So now you could press the microphone and you say some sentence, and that sentence will appear on the right side, where at the moment you see this placeholder message, ready to test speech. And basically that is super easy example to run. And if you take a look at the code, that is also really easy to understand. And we are looking here at this parts of the relevant code. We have some recognizer. We are defining the variable display text, and then if we have this result, which is the recognized speech, we are putting on our I'll go here in the right box when you see initialized, so that display text goes over there. We are putting recognized, and then we are saying text equal this recognized text. In case something goes wrong, we show this error: speech was canceled or could not be recognized. Probably, yeah, microphone not working properly, or something went wrong. And yeah, in next few lines of code, we just set the state of display text. So once we pronounce the text, if it's get recognized, we are displaying this text. We got this text in our display text variable. What it means is basically that we can use this variable and figure out something else with that text, like maybe use it to make another query to show some relevant data and such. So yeah, also in the code you can find this speech configuration, and with property speech recognition language, which is at the moment set on English US. As I said, we were using it with Swedish, works nicely. Personally, haven't tried other languages, but they say 85 supported, works good. So you can try it out. And how to use this with real data, right? Let's now get to some more real stuff. We said we have this scenario where we have salespersons and they are selling the fruits, and those fruits have some names: apples, bananas, lemons. They have prices. They have some number of kilograms or number of pieces in the warehouse that we have at the moment, and some description and such. So over here, the thing is, we can query our existing system, and one person is on the phone and entering data, entering this order in one screen. On the second screen, or on the same, if you want to split it and put two views there, while person speaks, you can get the keywords out of the text and query your database to get some results out. And based on that query, you could build some logic on top of it, right? So what would logic be in this sales scenario? We need to figure out, like, okay, how many pieces we have actually in the warehouse, and what we identify. This is a real example what happens there, out there. Is that often such companies had a lot of order cancellations because they were selling the whole day, entering data into those orders. Then at the end of the day, they figured out, okay, but we don't have that many in our warehouse. So they spent a lot of time next day canceling those orders, right? And yeah, so you could figure out, okay, what is there, how many pieces needs to go. Food can spoil easily. Like, there is some period, okay, apples can be there for, I don't know, month two. Bananas can be only a few days, right? So lemon can also be there longer. And you can build logic on top of that. And also there is this element, knowing your customers. So when you're making a query like about bananas, you're talking with him about bananas, maybe that customer previous year at the same time period was buying from you some other product. It's not easy to know your customers, but it's always nice to get reminded what was happening the year before and such. So this way you get these live suggestions, and those suggestions become smart when, based on those queries, you actually build the logic on top. So I will show you now the short demo video. And here is Kim, like, testing this system. Let's imagining she's at the moment on the phone, as you can see, and she will be. There's no audio in this video.
Thank
so
God.
she. We would learn. Maybe they would learn some Swedish. Come on. So Kim is saying some conversation, right? And having conversation and mentioning some products, and they will pop up on the screen like suggestions. System is reminding her, offering different
Fruits.
different fruits from the warehouse, or what is over there. So you've seen that first there was
Apples.
short one. Yeah, there was popping up apples like conversation. Afterwards, they are popping the bananas. The thing is, when salesperson is making this conversation, like these suggestions give him idea, okay, maybe I can offer this next. And that's the way to increase the sales, right? It's not just the thing what should be gone that day, because that's how in those companies usually they have daily stand-ups, like, okay, we have too many bananas, they are gone in 2 days, we need to sell them, right? So everybody focus on bananas, but forget some other stuff, like, okay, that customer year ago was buying something else, or we are at the moment in the season of I don't know, yeah, watermelons or whatever, right? So this should be suggested at the moment, like, okay, we have this, we can sell this also. So something like regarding demand forecasting, how this is done. Yeah, Microsoft AI platform provides this advanced analytics tool through Microsoft Azure, data ingestion, data storage, data processing, and advanced analytic components. So those are all of the essential elements for building demand forecasting. So on the left side, you can see the architecture overview, how this could look like. This is not something we came up with. This is from the recommended architectures, right? And what you have over here on the left, you have an event hub that collects real-time consumption data. Then you have stream analytics that aggregates the streaming data and makes it available for visualization. You have Azure SQL database that stores and transforms the consumption data. You have machine learning that implements and executes the forecasting model. And Power BI, it visualizes the real-time consumption and the forecast result. And finally, Data Factory orchestrates and schedules the entire data flow. So this, for example, demand forecasting, how it can be done. This example was based on energy consumption. If you take a look at in the architecture best practices, but can be used elsewhere, right? Can be adjusted to your needs. And for example, over here with Power BI, we are doing this real-time, displaying the real-time consumption, what is happening, and we are forecasting results, what will happen in the future. And with this, we kind of got to the end what we prepared. I think we are a few minutes early, but yeah, hopefully we have some questions that we can answer. So I don't know, was there any to put it on the screen? Low cost.
Yes, we have one question here from Katarina. It's is it possible to start with an AI-driven solution without already having a mature business intelligence or data warehousing solution?
Yes. Why not? I would say, like, start building it, but for AI-driven solutions, like we need data, right? That's the most important. If we really want to get some real insights, real conclusion, then we need data. Is there something you would, Kim, add to that?
Yeah, I think it's a very relevant question, because a lot of companies are getting stuck with not starting because they don't have all the foundations in the beginning. But I think it's important to find a way where you can start testing and making small proof of concepts, because that will also drive the initiatives to create the the data warehousing solution and so on. So if it's not in place, use these kind of examples to drive that discussion as well. I think with all these examples I showed earlier, we've had discussions with the client that, oh, we don't have this or we don't have that, or we have a data warehouse, but all the data is not in there and so on. But by showing small solutions, we can also show the value of what can be achieved, and that way it's also driving the data warehouse solution initiative, so to say. So I think it's important to move. Yeah.
I was saying that flow, you need to inspire the customers to get things going. So show them some small example. Okay, this is how things can be done. And like no need to do the over engineering and such. You've seen one simple example, what I show you through this presentation. Okay, this is the service, we can plug it in, we can quickly get some example, we can connect to the real data, and at first you will just return, okay, apples, no matter the order. After that, you slowly start the building logic and figuring out what is actually behind, what AI should be doing behind that business. So that's my take on it.
I think it's better to get going at least, instead of waiting for the best foundations and everything being laid out for you, because that's seldom going to happen.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I also have a question here, because in this example you were using one of the cognitive services, speech to text, but have you also tried developing your own machine learning models?
Yeah, on top of data, that is done like in the background. So you, if you are asking me for natural language processing, no, because we are based in Sweden, both in Stockholm and Malmö, our offices, and as far as I know, there is still still a lot of research and effort put into the Swedish natural language processing models, like to get this accurate. And thing is, what Microsoft gives us, Azure gives us, comes out of the box, is super simple, right? And we didn't try to, we simplified completely, didn't try to figure out the whole sentences and whole questions, it's just trying to figure out the keywords and do triggers based on that. And for such things, it works perfectly. And my solution architect part of me is always, simplify until it's like, okay, cannot get any simpler than this. Then, yeah, that's the way to do it.
Thank you. And one last question also, because you also mentioned the Microsoft patterns and practices, that this architecture that you had used, you had sort of just taken an already existing pattern. So what is your experience in using these patterns that are already published? Have you had?
Yeah, they are a great start to kick off conversation and such, especially with clients. Like you can pull it out in few minutes, and there's a lot of references there that you can easily apply or adjust or figure out. Okay, this works in, I don't know, 80% of, and then. Yeah, through the conversation, you figure out the needs, figure out maybe, okay, how existing solutions look like, where data sources are, how you will connect that. And then you develop this through time. And of course, you don't land exactly there as it looks on the picture. But yeah, it develops over time. Yeah, but still, as a foundation, this is something that we should be aware that it exists, and especially if you do this solution architecture job, like yeah, that's that's your main manual, like something to pull out immediately. Yeah. I hope this answers it. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have any more questions right now, but Katrina also said, great way of looking at it that will help many customers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Katrina.
Good.
Yeah. Happy to hear some positive feedback that people found it interesting.
And we should also mention that Catherine is actually one of our speakers for this conference, and she will have her presentation tomorrow. So I hope that you will tune into that presentation too.
Yes, we will
Yes.
do
The
that.
second presentation, I think, at 6 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Timing is actually good. In the afternoon, evening, people finish with work and then can watch. It's much easier, at least in my case. Yeah.
In mine as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes, yes, I think with that said, we can thank Goran and Kim for a really lovely presentation. And then before we leave here, I just have a couple of information here from the global Azure virtual that I'm just gonna share my screen here. One moment. So like this. So as maybe you know, this is part of a worldwide event. So if you want to have a learner badge, you can scan this QR code, and there is also a learn challenge. So you can go to aka.ms/global Azure 30D2L, which is 30 days to learn, and you can participate in a learning challenge. And then finally, they are also offering a virtual background as a digital swag, and also another badge for you if you go to the blog.globalazure.net/swag. So Oddbjörn, I think we're through here for day one.
Yes, it was a lot of good presentations.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So great day, and yeah, I really can't wait for tomorrow.
No. So we hope we thank all of the speakers for today, and we also thank all of you, the audience, who have tuned in, or maybe you're watching this afterwards. And we hope that you will also come tomorrow, because we have a set of 4 great speakers tomorrow too. So thank you so much, and see you tomorrow.
Yes. Bye.